Dimmick out. Aaron Raper also out for hooker. Troy Campbell comes into the side in 26. Peter Johnston in 14. Ron Hilditch, of course, is the coach. And the St. George Dragons, with plenty of support here at Parramatta Stadium, that 4-match losing streak for them. And this Dragons side, some concerns for David Waite, their coach, in recent times. That's their lineup there. Young Dean Raper right at the back comes into the side, only his second match in first grade. Skippered by Mark Coyne. David Waite, the coach. Paul McBlain is the referee for today's match. Lance Thompson, the youngest man, in fact, in this St. George lineup, only 18 years of age. Made his debut in round 2 this year for the Dragons. The Parramatta side, with Troy Campbell in at hooker, it's a disruption for them. So underway, Parramatta running from right to left for the first half. And this St. George Dragons side with Lance Thompson, first touch of the ball, just short of the 20. And this Dragons lineup with Mundine shifting out to the centres. Jeff Hardy, a player with a great deal of experience in at 5'8".
I'm just wondering, Andrew, whether that's a move to give Mundine a little bit more space. Obviously, after his great start to the season, as Bartrim tackled on the 20-metre line, sides were starting to mark him very closely, maybe a little bit wider of the ruck. He might just find a few more metres. First penalty of the game against the Parramatta team.
And a chance for the Dragons to make ground. The other change we should mention is that with Brunker on the bench, Nick Zisti has been forced out to the wing. Here's the penalty against the markers. Hanging on to the man playing the football. So the Dragons on the attack with Jason Stevens. 5 short of halfway. Coming up to make the tackle was Chris King. This is Goldthorpe and across for Troy Stone. This tackle around the ankles from Troy Campbell. Brown now for Thompson. Thompson tries a step, but the defence covers up nicely. Peter Johnston. You get plenty of tackles out of Peter Johnston. Good ball from Stevens. Well-timed pass. Has created a chance there for Raper, who does like to come into the line, as we saw in that match some weeks ago against Manly. Goldthorpe, almost a forward pass there for Mundine. Brown on the last tackle. It's with Goldthorpe. And kicking now for the corner of Chris Lawler, and in fact over the dead ball line, so back to the 20. Not the kick they wanted first up.
And you spoke about the changes in the Parramatta side, Andrew. You see the restart there with Troy Campbell. He did play a lot of hooker last season. In fact, until he was sent off this year, that was his role, so he handled that quite well. And Peter Johnson coming into the side, that's definitely going to stiffen up their defence. To win this match, they will have to be very good, because I think St. George will throw plenty at them.
This match celebrating the 10th anniversary here at Parramatta Stadium. That's the head-to-head, and it's certainly weighted in favour of the Dragons, 65-32. There's some fisticuffs in back play. Nathan Brown is involved as Parramatta still work the ball forward, but McBlain has to bring a stop to play. Plenty of players getting involved. Not too many punches thrown, I should mention.
It was between Nathan Brown and Gary Freeman. Freeman looks like he may have been cut. The crowd definitely reacted. Like he's got a little bit of a mark over the cheek. Let's have a look for Brown. There they are standing together. They get tangled up. The right thrown by Nathan Brown. He backs off because the Parramatta players are coming in. What did you see, Steve?
Well, as usual, Gary Freeman just hanging on after the tackle there, and Brown let him have one. Beautiful little right hook.
Went straight down too, blocked, didn't he?
He did too, and straight down, no, straight up too. He's foxing. He's hoping for the penalty.
Which way will it go?
Well, I think really that St. George should get the penalty. Freeman was hanging on after he'd marked up.
You can see the mouse there on the left cheek of Gary Freeman.
And the last of the cautions is against Nathan Brown, but St. George, are they going to get the penalty? No, to Parramatta. So Gary Freeman wins the battle, if you like, there. And Nathan Brown, the player, penalised. And this St. George side, too, with the split rounds, it hasn't been a great help. It's been 3 weeks since their last game, and that was a loss to the Steelers. Their 4th in a row. Parramatta, though, on the attack. 25 metres out at the blind side, Campbell, and now for Smith. And 10 metres out from the St. George line. It's a big line to the right. Freeman, Ritson, goes through the centre, stands and offloads. Good pass from Ritson back to Campbell. Just centimetres short of the line. Lawler, Freeman, Blackett with it. On his outside as King, he gets the ball. Was that forward? No, says referee McLean. And trapped just inside the 10, Johnston for Freeman. A kick to the in-goal area. They can score. Thompson cleans up, and he had to.
Well, when that kick came in, I thought that Keith Blackett was going to get to it, but Lance Thompson, the rear-headed crash tackling second row there from St. George, got to it, had to turn and chase. And well done by Thompson.
Let's wait. So from that line dropout, Parramatta with Mabon and back for Johnston. Wendy's way back from the halfway and past the 30-metre line, and back slammed in the tackle at the end of that by Stevens. This is Campbell and Ritson. And Adam Ritson, an impressive start to the match.
Oh, he's got
big gun front rower.
Some sort of future, hasn't he? I think he's a sensational player as Blackett finds Dean Pay scouting out wide. A good play, the ball allows the momentum to continue with Jason Smith out of dummy half.
Jason Smith proving a handful for the defence close to the line as well, so St. George having to endure the pressure at the moment. Freeman had to dive to take it, did well in the end. Now back for McCracken. Puts out a fend on Hardy, but Hardy able to wrap him up. And now there could be a penalty here against Hardy for the grip that he took in the tackle. Went between the legs of McCracken.
You can put your arms between the legs of player as long as you don't lift. Let's have a look. Well, he has lifted.
Yeah, that's turned out to be quite a nasty tackle, that one. I'm surprised that Jeff Hardy went on with it. All the players know these days you just cannot do that. The referees are looking for it. It can be dangerous. And the touch judge is in, so this will be no doubt a report going in to the league. They started well, Parramatta. Lots of variety around the rucks with plenty of turning ball back inside, looking for the holes up the middle. Jason Smith has been involved early. Very skillful ball player he is.
So they've gone for both players on report, both Anthony Mundine and Jeff Hardy for the tackle. So that is now for the league to examine early next week. And from that penalty, it's given Parramatta first chance for points. It'll be Chris Lawler with a shot at goal from 11 in from touch and 20 out. Let's have a look at the tackle again. See the role of Mundine in this.
Well, he helps lift, but, you know, I don't think he's got a problem at all. I would assume that that's just to cover all areas. They'll have a look at that tackle later on. But it was definitely Jeff Hardy who was the main man involved there in the dangerous tackle.
This man, Chris Lawler, was the leading point scorer last year for the Parramatta side and in fact played in all 22 matches. Not a great success rate though. From 20 metres out and 11 in from touch. Parramatta looking for a 2-0 lead, and Lawler has supplied back. Back with the action. The St. George Dragons and Wayne Bartrim. So Parramatta return the ball with Peter Johnston tackled short of the 20. No handling errors as yet as Campbell away for Freeman. And now Ritson again getting over that advantage line. McCracken, in fact, is now it's Ritson standing in the tackle, and a good offload from Ritson. McCracken gets a second chance and through the centre. Jared McCracken for the Eels up to halfway. A good burst. And now gets himself a penalty. There was a lot of push and shove in that. It's gone against the Dragons.
I'd be a little bit careful if I was Jared McCracken. It was Anthony Mundine involved there, and apparently he's fairly handy. The pugilist states. Great run there from Jared McCracken. His involvement was good. Peter Johnson taken head on by the front row pair, Stone and Stevens.
Ritson is the player who's causing damage at the moment. A couple of offloads as well. Blackett pushing it on for Woods around the corner. It was forward in any case. Lawler couldn't handle. So Saints will get the feed, but there's some real danger signs out there for the St. George defence.
Well, here's David Woods just going for that little bit too much. Attracted 2 defenders. You saw Mabon and the winger Lawler into open space. It was a mistake well before the last tackle. St. George win this scrum. Hardy at 5'8". Second man's coin to Raper.
Raper wrapped up by Mabon and Woods. Raper coming into the side after Chris Quinn put in one of the most memorable performances, or certainly memorable, but for the wrong reasons, as now the big tackle came in from Johnston. Bartrim was still able to offload, but it was almost a Peter Johnston special. Goldthorpe and now Mundine closer to the action with Stone. Stone through the defence. He's left Woods behind. And Ziski is wrapped up from behind by Lawler, and Woods has clutched at the shoulder after missing the tackle on Stone, as now they go forward with Mundine 20 metres out from the Parramatta line. It's the last tackle. Goldthorpe fires the pass along for Thompson, and Thompson with a step. It is the last back for Stevens. Quick hands away. The play hasn't been shut down. Saints struggling to get a kick in now with Raper. He throws it back inside. Hardy for Mundine, and eventually that play has come to an end.
Well, that's good football from both sides. St. George keeping the ball alive at all costs. I'm surprised that somebody didn't kick the football. But they kept it going, and Parramatta had to scramble well in defence. Pretty good work from both teams.
The concerns were with David Woods when he missed the tackle on Troy Stone. He went straight for the shoulder. Back in the line at the moment. This is Adam Ritson. He shoulders his way into Stone. And now he's lost it. It's just flipped up in the air. Penalty against the Dragons.
Well, he got the call from the touchy, watching the touchy then, speaking into his microphone. It was a heel grab, then a flick. There's everything there.
Steve Roach on the sideline.
Well, Saints better realise they're in a football game. They're not matching this Parramatta side physically. A big game today for Jason Stevens. This is his first starting game. He's really got to put his hand up to be counted.
Campbell to Johnston for the restart, and Stone makes the tackle with that man, Jason Stevens. He wants a hit up. He gets it now. The captain of the Parramatta side, and his captaincy record with the Eels is 2 from 2 since replacing Gary Freeman. Campbell for Jason Smith, held up the pass for Mabon, then away for Ritson. Ritson's had the ball. Well, I thought it was stripped. Raper comes away with it for the Dragons. And trying to step around the outside of Blackett. He couldn't do that. So St. George back in possession with David Barnhill. Freeman getting a bit of a niggle in that tackle, and it's Campbell or Freeman, if you like, the ping for the penalty. Campbell it is who's conceded. A little messy around the ruck at the moment.
Well, Parramatta nearly had 4 markers then. They were in a queue to be the marker. There's plenty involved in the tackle, but no one's prepared to get back in the defensive line. They all want to hang around there, and there's 4 of them lining up.
That really was stupid play there from Troy Campbell. Had to be penalised. Now St. George with possession, 38 out, 5 tackles up their sleeve. A very ordinary 10 metres there from the referee against the Eels.
Changes looming perhaps in the St. George lineup. The call has gone out to warm up as Goldthorpe for Hardy. Hardy, a dummy to Bartrim. He's through the gap, then away. The Dragons now with Coyne. Coyne has trapped 5 metres out. The tackle count has restarted. It was touched there by the Eels. Brown skips out a man with Goldthorpe and then over the back of Raper. Penalty has come for inside the 10. And again, there's some push and shove and some punches thrown.
Oh, here you are, the boys are into it. Plenty of fire in this game today. This is the second or third incident we've seen. And there was a great opportunity for St. George to score there. Parramatta very short as the ball went wide through the St. George hands, but it couldn't be handled. In the end, a penalty goes to the Saints side. They'll probably have a shot at goal.
Both teams realising the importance of this match. Well, there is plenty of feeling there. Good refereeing. Gary Freeman coming in late on Dean Rape. Dean Rape, he gets a bit of a bare hold.
There's headlocks everywhere. Smith put a headlock on Raper, then Stevens put one on Smithy.
Oh, Larry O'Day, Mario Milano.
1-2.
And now there's sin bin time for Gary Freeman.
And for Dean Raper.
So Dean Raper and Gary Freeman will spend the next 10 minutes in the bin.
Quick tap.
And St. George with Goldthorpe and Hardy. Up out of the line came Woods. Hardy offloads now. Bartrim. The sin bin players still haven't left the field. The action continues for the Dragons. Brown This is Lance Thompson, feeds it on for Stevens, forward past the Barnhill and called by McLean. Well, disappointment for the Dragons on only the second tackle.
That really is poor football, you know. Second tackle, lining up, there was chances out wide again. You just don't throw those passes. That was always going to be forward. Overrun there by Barnhill. Like it's all happening out there, son.
Yeah, it's pretty heated. Look, Saints have to match it with this side, and as you said, a few players warming up here on the sideline. Scott Goulet just about to be injected into the game.
And this Parramatta side just outside their own 20. Campbell working a blind with Johnston. Stevens is there over the top, making his fair share of tackles for the Dragons. Jason Stevens, 8 tackles in fact, second only to David Barnhill. Time Brown and Stone came in on Dean Pay. Getting a kick away with Jason Smith. It's not a deep kick, and Raper, Zisti back at fullback, of course, with Raper in the bin. Bounce set up nicely. Woods made the tackle, so no problems right now with the shoulder as Goldthorpe really lets one go with a pass. Hardy and Mundine. Now back for Hardy, then Goldthorpe. And the Dragons, well, he's lost it. Back now for Mundine. It's play on for St. George. And now Mundine straightens up the attack for the St. George side and backed up over the top there by Peter Johnston. This is Nathan Brown. Goldthorpe, quick hands for Stone. All in all defence from David Woods.
All of a sudden, this Parramatta defence is looking decidedly shaky as McLean sees another penalty in the play the ball area, pushing down from the Parramatta defender. Dean Pay questioning the decision. They need a little bit of a break, the Eels. They look like they're about to be busted in defence.
Both teams down to 12. This game promised something right at the top, and it's turning out their way as Stevens off. He bumped away from Dean Pay. Johnston had to make the tackle. Stevens has come off worse for wear out of it. Hardy had to fall forward to catch that pass and wrapped up by King. Stevens still receiving attention in back play as Thompson for Stone inside. Some quick hands on for Barnhill, back for Brown. Well, that also looked forward there. As Brown ducked under a tackle. A marginal pass indeed. Out of dummy half goes Bartrim. Bartrim could go all the way. He will. Wayne Bartrim from 20 metres out has scored for the St. George side. What a solo try to the man who was out of the Queensland side last Monday night, looking to play his way back into a maroon jumper.
Yeah, he's got good speed, Wayne Bartrim, deceptively quick. That ordinary defence, we freeze play there. 3 Parramatta markers. Look at the hole up the middle there. Total disarray. Play continues. It's an awful defensive line. Wayne Bartrim straight up the middle, and that's an awful sign for any team to be busted so easily in the middle of the ruck. 3 markers and nobody tight to the ruck area on the left-hand side, and Bartrim fully capitalised.
Well, this game's been waiting for someone to get the ball and just go whoosh. And Bartrim it was who did the whooshing. Straight through the middle. He's got plenty of speed. Hooker playing in the back row originally. He's had a stint at hooker in this St. George side, also the Queensland side. And he's happy with that one. He's a pretty good player, Wayne Bartrim. Make a handy bench player for Queensland. I mean, not that I'm a selector.
No, but it's a pretty fair hint.
Oh, you know, with Craig Greenhill being out and everything.
So St. George leading by 4 points to 2.
So if you understand what I mean, there's lots of passing, Peter, isn't there? No one wanting to get the ball and go forward. They're just looking for the holes, but no one wants to run to them.
I think there's plenty of gaps out there in both sides. The defence is a major problem for both teams at the moment. And unfortunately for the home side, they paid the biggest penalty to date.
So Bartrim trying to convert his own try from 11 metres out. He's also done that. So 6 points to 2. The Dragons lead the Eels here at Parramatta Stadium. Welcome back. Parramatta down by 4 here. Deep kickoff. And the Dragons have made some changes as well. This is Kevin Campion, one of the bench players. Also out there is Scott Goulet. Fairly warm day, as a matter of fact, here in Sydney, so not surprised to see the interchange used. Now, well, almost The referee there lying on the man a little too long in the tackle, Parramatta.
And that's Colin Ward on as well, so mass changes from David Waite with Jason Stephen, Lance Thompson and David Barnhill all leaving the field. Big hit there from Jared McCracken. And now Nathan Brown finds Goldthorpe, who in turn onto Troy Stone. Fine young player, this man. He's been Saints' best all season.
His rate of improvement has been fast-tracked with his appearance in the City Origin. A charge down by Campbell. This will be a try to the Eels. Away goes David Woods. Against the run of play, Parramatta are struck straight back. Dave Woods the try, and it's 6-all.
So we've seen plenty of tries being scored in the last couple of weeks from kicks that haven't got through the line. This one was a clearing kick that was charged down by the Parramatta players. So very good pressure. There's the charge down. I think it was Troy Campbell who came up with the all-important charge down, and David Woods on hand to pick up.
You saw Noel Goldthorpe, he's on his own, he's got no support there. Normally you'd find a fullback or someone, of course there's no Dean Raper out, that's probably why it's happened, but the fullback would normally stand inside the halfback kicking the ball just as some sort of protection, some help in case something like this happens. On that occasion though, no one there.
It's actually one of those rare occasions where the charge down did benefit the team putting the pressure on. So many times you see the charge down just result in another set of 6 for the team kicking the football. But everything worked out perfectly for the Eels on that occasion. The charge down was a good one, and all the players were on side, so David Woods had no problems in picking the football up.
David Woods, the player that the New South Wales coach and the Sydney City Roosters coach Bill Gould described as a freak. He really is a talented player. He only had the support there. And right now it's with Chris Lawler. 15 goals for the season. This one 15 out, just off centre, no problems for Chris Lawler. Parramatta have put their noses back in front at 8-6 at the 20-minute mark.
Here we see Noel Goldthorpe again. He actually had pressure coming in from the left-hand side from Jason Smith and Campbell from the marker position. On a site that the Parramatta fans would love to see more of. David Woods in full flight.
What, tries? Tries in general?
Yeah, I missed that one, Paul.
So the restart with the Dragons and Mabon for Peter Johnston. That time the Dragons able to wrap him up inside the 20. Mabon out of dummy half. He was with the Dragons this time last year. Waller away that time for Smith. More responsibility on Smith in this lineup with Jim Dimmick out. We saw Dimmick on the bench earlier. A legacy of State of Origin. He took a knee injury into that match on the bench. Unable to back up for this Saturday fixture. It's Campbell. There's Jim Dimmick right now. Smith away for Woods. It's the last tackle for Parramatta. Rushing his kick in, David Woods. It's not a bad one. I tell you what, I'd like to see them try and do better than that. Back for Mundine. There's a call for a knock on. It just brushed the hand of Mundine. He's made a plea to both touch judge and in-goal judge. And the referee has gone with his touchy.
Well, Mundine claims it came off his knee. I can't see a knock on there.
Well, it was nowhere near his knee either, so...
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Touched his hand.
Yep, there it is, no doubt about it. So, stroke of luck now for the Eels.
And Blackett works the scrum with Freeman still in the sin bin. Away for Woods. Woods inside. The Eels on the attack. Standing Smith out of the scrum. Back for Campbell. Campbell, can he stretch out? He's pushed back and offloads. Now with Ritson. Blackett. He fires the pass out. It's been knocked down by a St. George player. And Parramatta are able to clean up the ball. And they needed just a couple more metres on that pass. They would have scored in the corner. This is Woods.
Oh, Blackett's pass. Oh, no, silly pass there. Attempted pass. Stupid play there as the sin bin players come back into the fray. Keith Blackett only had to find open space with the pass. And there were 2 unmarked players well and truly on the outside. It actually was a hand from Colin Ward against Parramatta team there.
In the meantime, St. George have made an error of their own. I think it was Colin Ward getting up to play the football. Made a real mess of it.
In fact, it was Mundine again.
Well, 2 errors in the space of a couple of minutes inside your own 20. And Parramatta, 13 on 13, Freeman. Almost upended in the tackle there. Certainly some feeling in this game. Pay up to the line. Able to offload. Chance now for McCracken. Wrapped up by Raper. Last line of defence for the Dragons. Campbell. Freeman. There's Ritson. He's the decoy. Blackett stepped. He's left from behind Keith Blackett. This time he gets the pass away. And Parramatta get the try. Marner scored. That time off a Blackett pass. 2 tries in quick time for the Eels, and it's 12-6.
And Anthony Mundine will be going through horrors out there at the moment. 2 mistakes that he's made, very, very simple ones, have given plenty of possession and field position to Parramatta. Keith Blackett here, the big sidestep and some very slack defence on the inside from St. George not coming across. Scott Marn only had to pick the ball up with one player to beat, and did so very, very easily.
Yeah, that's very
soft
poor.
Try.
Yeah, poor defence from St. George, and I know Peter's got a huge rap on this Keith Blackett. He's done terrifically there. Great play by him. Scott Marn finishes. But coincidentally, you know, as soon as not a criticism of David Waite, but when those fresh players went on, things seem to have gone wrong for St. George, and I might be overreading that, but they had a good rhythm going. The players were playing well. There's the original knock on there from Anthony Mundine, and what, 23 seconds later he comes up with that one.
And then had that very good player Keith Blackett step straight past him.
Well, you know that I have been critical of Keith Blackett in the past. His performance so far in this game has been very good, and that's what I think we need to see more of from Keith Blackett, taking the opposition on when he's got the football, and that will help his passing game. I worry David Waite once again. And now Lawler. Not an easy conversion attempt here, but it's an important one for Parramatta because it would extend to 8 points, and that would mean the opposition would have to score twice.
Well, he's a left footer. It's on his good side. 10 in from touch. 20 metres out. Lawler to look to add the extra 2. This time unsuccessful. Welcome back with St. George and Bartrim. And a lone try scorer for Parramatta. Crowd getting vocal. There has been fire in this match. The way the home fans want it, the score is the right way. This is Peter Johnston who gets over the 20 for the Eels. It's interesting the use of the interchanges Fatty raised. After that try was scored, Parramatta have kept a complement of players out there. St. George, the changes certainly haven't added anything to their effort, as now Smith offloads, back for Maybon. He's able to feed on for Campbell, then Freeman, some quick hands away for Pay. Goulet came over the top to at least put an end to that play. Plenty of passing, not too many metres made. Freeman skips out a man with a pass. Johnston out of the centres. And Marn it is who's tackled short of halfway. Nice tackle for the Parramatta side. Freeman puts the smallest of kicks in from dummy half. Well, it may have in fact ricocheted off the leg of a St. George player. That's the call from Gary Freeman.
Well, he's blowing up Freeman, and it's going to be a St. George feed, not the kind of kick that you want to come up with. It appears that might have taken the left foot of Anthony Mundine.
Judge having none of that. Hardy from the scrum with Mundine, a chance to redeem himself. Some fancy footwork from Mundine. So good on his feet and tackled that time from Smith.
Oh, beautiful tackle too from Jason Smith in a covering role from the scrum. There's a stink on the background, just a little one. McCracken, unlike him.
McCracken and coin the two players as Goldthorpe fired a pass out and the Parramatta defence so keen, tigerish right at the moment. It was King who came out of the line. This is Ward, the player who can offload. He does it that time, away for Bell. Bell returning to the side. Freeman, the player who's down at the moment for Parramatta, as it's Goulet. He stands, a pass for Hardy. Hardy on the wordy-gurdy back for Goldthorpe. Tackle count has started again for St. George. Is now again on the outside. Corey was on the outside of Ziski. And there's more push and shove, but the bottom line here, the ball went over the sideline and Parramatta will have the feed.
Yes, and Jason Smith did come in with a pretty cheap little shot on Mark Coyne at the end of it. Not quite sure what the wordy-gurdy is, but there's one of them. Keeping the ball alive, plenty of passes going astray, and the referee saw 6 again there. But this pass here nullifies everything, And there Jason Smith just came in and took Mark Coyne out a long way away from where the football was.
Parramatta have now made a change. Adam Ritson has been replaced. Morgan is out there now, Justin Morgan. This is Rod Mabon tackled. But Steve Roach, I'm sure you'd agree that Adam Ritson, in his time out there, the opening to the match, he's done the job as Parramatta get a penalty.
Yeah, he's been great for Parramatta. Look, the point that I wanted to make is Anthony Mundine getting the ball far too slow out in the centres. They've got to change it around and move Harding somewhere else into the pack and bring another centre on because he's too far away from the football.
Johnston doing what he does best. He's tackled 25 metres out now. A key set of 6 this one. The Dragons need to hold Parramatta out. Freeman had to jump to take the pass and Pay has tripped over. And Brown will be credited with a tackle as Woods gets out of dummy half for 10 metres. Around the legs was Ward. Parramatta threatening points though with Smith. He kicks before the last for the corner. The chase is coming. A bad bounce for the Dragons and batted over. Touch in goal by Mark Bell.
Excellent kick there from Jason Smith, having a very good game today for Parramatta. He found some space back there, points to toes, got a lot of skill. And a slip there from Mark Bell, but he finally gets to it.
That was actually Justin Morgan chasing the kick, the closest Parramatta player to the bounce. Good work from Mark Bell. Handled a tough situation very well. The restart now from Noel Goldthorpe, and he finds almost 50 metres. Pretty good drop out. Peter Johnson brings it back.
He's got that job for the day, Peter Johnston. He's doing it well. That time 35 metres out from the Saints line. Campbell away for King. And King with a step. He got straight through the tackle of Stone. Campbell and Freeman. For Blackett. Blackett cuts out a man for Woods and then Mabon. His outside was Lawler, but the defence was just jockeying there, and Coyne made the tackle on Mabon. This is Dean Pay. Offload for Woods. Woods spun around in the tackle, and now to ground. Parramatta have 2 on the blind side, all the rest to the right as Freeman. Blackett slows the play down then for Smith. There was a shepherd behind McCracken, and Parramatta have given away a penalty. I just wonder whether it was the delay in the passing of Blackett that led to that.
Well, it is fairly pedestrian, straightening there. This is the shepherd. Too many errors from both teams in that part of the football field. Their opponent's dangerous. Scott Goulet takes it to the halfway line.
This Goldthorpe, wasn't a good pass from Brown, and then Goldthorpe just threw the pass back for Barnhill. Saints are going to lose 20 metres on the play. Now with Hardy, they may even lose more as it comes back for Raper. And Raper, an army of defenders in front of him, takes the tackle. So they're lifting right at the moment, the Eels, as Troy Stone comes back. Offloads for Brown. Goldthorpe. Campbell and King make the tackle. Troy Campbell impressed with his game so far as well. His tackle count has restarted. There's been plenty of times that has happened in this match. As Stone.
I mean, is someone going to run, or what are they going to do? Just stand there and pass here?
It's an endless attack right at the moment for the Dragons as Barnhill decides to straighten things up, made 10 metres. He's got a couple of tackles too late though. Brown with Goldthorpe. This kick. Well, after the tackle count restarted, by my count, that had to be the 3rd tackle he's kicked on. Strange tactics from the Dragons. Mabon back. Parramatta will run it all day, no doubt about that. Mahon takes the tackle. I just think that was a spur-of-the-moment decision from Goldthorpe just to kick the ball.
And that's just further illustration of what Paul Vautin was talking about after the Wayne Bartrim try. They just haven't been prepared to hit the ball up, take it upon the responsibility upon their shoulders and run at the defence.
Parramatta with McCracken. And Whitson is back out there for the Eels. Peter Johnston gets his first rest of the match after 34 minutes. With Freeman. Inside ball for Mabon. The defence saw it coming. They can't stop the offload though. King dives back for almost a clash of heads with Smith. Fifth tackle for Parramatta. Jason Smith with a kick, a driving kick. Raper's the man back there on the 20. A good free-running fullback, young Dean Raper. And a good chase from Ritson. Peter Johnston some handiwork to do on the head of Peter Johnston right now, as this is Zisti. Through the tackle of Campbell. Still going, Zisti. "12-6 the score. Thompson almost copping that one up. Then had to confront Adam Ritson over Barnhill. Well, he seems to have got the message, but he's probably the only forward out there at the moment. Goldthorpe kicking again before the last tackle. That, though, is a better kick, although it's gone big on the first bounce and touch in goal, so back to the 20. Well, the St. George side, we've seen plenty of them in televised matches. We've, in fact, seen all 4 of their last 4 matches, the last 4 losses. How does this rate?
Well, I haven't seen them play for a little while, Andrew. I missed the Illawarra game, but compared to what I saw early in the season, the way they're playing now, I can't wait to hear what David Waite has to say at half-time.
Remember the day they carved up Newcastle? They were getting back, they were hitting them. The backline movements were there, they were standing deep. Today they're flat-footed. Interchange of passing, but no one wants to run with the football.
Blackett out of the line there to make the tackle was Bartrim. But Parramatta, if they could get some further points before half-time, that would prove decisive in the match. As the Dragons are within 6, they'd have to be rated a chance after half-time, as Campbell was going nowhere from dummy half that time. Smith away for Freeman, he's dropped it. This will be the changeover, and now a penalty against Freeman for kicking the football away on the changeover. And Freeman looks like he'll go to the blood bin as well. He's got that cut above the nose, so he's off again.
Well, the Wiz, he's on the footy show tomorrow at midday. Got to show him that one.
A couple of times, Paul.
No doubt about it. Oh, it's one of those things. It's happened to every player that's played the game.
But he's, you know, a flippant little attitude at the end of that as well, kicking the football away. Sacrificed 20 metres for his side, and now with 5 tackles up their sleeves, St. George really have an opportunity to do something not far out from half-time.
Stone turns it around for Hardy. Oh, he's missed Mundine with a pass. You have to say the experiment of Hardy and Mundine has not worked. Looking back at that replay, Freeman will probably argue that that was a grubber kick. He dropped the pass onto his boot. As it comes back for Raper. Raper stepping away from 2, clipped across the shoulder by Smith. They're 25 metres out from the Parramatta line. Nathan Brown, Thompson. All will be forgotten for the Dragons if they can level the scores before half-time. Brown in a dummy half. Well, he doesn't need a dummy half. Thompson just kept going, and now has caught the players offside. It's 3 minutes from half-time. They've gone the tap just to the side of the Parramatta post. Now, can they go left or right here? They don't get to play the ball. There has to be a sin bin here. Who does he pick out?
I think Jason Smith. No, in fact, it's
Morgan, the player.
Justin Morgan. I think Smith was actually more at fault. But now they're going, well, I can't understand this. They're taking the kick to goal now.
Yes, must have been tempted to go for a try against the 12 men.
But I mean, they made the decision a minute ago, Paul, not to take the 2 points.
I think Nathan Brown made that decision to have the quick tap. On this occasion, Mark Coyne, the captain, has made the decision. And I think it's the right one to do. Get the 2 points on this occasion.
Morgan's the player there, and right, Smith made the tackle. Just looking at the previous play on that replay when Thompson worked the ball forward, it did appear that Morgan was his marker. And that caused the first penalty for inside the 10. In any case, St. George have this kick 10 metres out. It's Wayne Bartrim. Second kick for the day. He converted his first try earlier. Should get this one and does. So they've crept back by 2, and it's 12 points to 8. Parramatta over St. George. David Waite is going to exit early and make his way to the dressing rooms for half-time. A little over 60 seconds remaining to the break. Just watch the tap here when it's played forward. Did Morgan get to marker? Well, no way, he didn't. Thompson had played the ball forward. He was just a little late in picking up. So fair penalty. No rush to get the kick away. In fact, the 10-second countdown is on for the first half. Lawler does have to kick, though. He certainly tried his best. And Lawler, big kick for Raper and Thompson. Do they want to run it? Thompson, dummy to the left. Now passes for Raper. So some risky play close to their line completes the first half. And we go to the break with a 4-point ball game. Parramatta 2 tries to 1. They lead the St. George Dragons by 12 points to 8. We'll take a break and come back with more. Parramatta down to 12 men, though, for the start of the second half with Justin Morgan in the Cindy. Back in a moment with more. With St. George with a kickoff, right to left for this second half. Wayne Bartrim it is who gets us underway. And Parramatta come back with Jared McCracken. A determined run, almost over the top of Nathan Brown. Campbell. And this is Chris King. It's up that time by Thompson and Bartrim. This Parramatta side, first points so vital after half-time, given that 12-8 scoreline. Ritson that time was taken in the tackle of Stone. Dean Pay. He bumped away from one with Campbell.
I'm not quite sure, sorry, Andrew, what's happened here with Nathan Barnes starting the second half. He's stayed out there a minute or two, and Rod Maybon has replaced him. As Dean Raper makes a good catch inside his 20.
So St. George with a chance to attack here. One man down in the line for Parramatta, and right at the moment playing no fullback as Bell was able to offload. St. George get a second chance, and McCracken comes up with a strong arm tackle. The Dragons inside their own 30. Goldthorpe away this time. Ward is pushed back. McCracken again came over the top. It was Stone, the man with the ball. Brown. This time Bartrim. Parramatta realising the situation with that one man in the bin. Having to lock up the ball. Brown gets out of dummy half, and the marker chase was good. Blackett came over the top on Brown. They've used up 5 tackles. St. George, they've only made 10 metres in that set of 6. And Goldthorpe with a kick back for Maybon. Maybon has his winger in support, Lawler, and wrapped up by David Barnhill. Lawler straight through, almost copped a high tackle on the way through. As a matter of fact, Thompson collared him. Campbell away for Ritson. Ritson offloads beautifully for Marr. And now a penalty for Parramatta. McBlain had called a man inside the 10. He came into the play. So the Eels earn a penalty. Steve Roach, the story at half-time. I guess St. George coach David Wade had plenty to say. Yeah, just before I go to that, Dean Payne a little bit of trouble there. He pulled out of a tackle limping, a bit of an ankle injury to him. But, yeah, you're right, David Wade not very happy. He said, will someone put their hand up and go forward? They're passing the ball every time in their sets of 6 to someone not in a better position. They said mark up on Dean Pay down the blind side. He's getting plenty of offloads and causing a fair bit of trouble. He's criticised his team for sloppy play early in the tackle count. He said he wants them to concentrate a little bit more and a little bit more depth when they are running with the football. They're standing in each other's pocket while for Parramatta. He was a little bit worried, Ronnie Hilditch said that his team had the better of the first half and they should have had more points on the board. He said keep Saints guessing with more variation in their forward play. And he said, look, after you've made the tackle, just a little bit quicker. They're a bit slow around the marker play. Well, Parramatta, there's a collision with a player off the ball. It was Blackett who ended up on the flat of his back. Campbell back for that man Blackett inside the 20 and almost cut in half there by Stone in the tackle. Parramatta, though, inside the Dragons 20 with Freeman. Kicks for the corner. He's kicked for the corner of Mann, who went high, tried to push the ball back into the field of play, was unsuccessful.
Interesting little kick, this one from Gary Freeman, looking for Mann. But Bill has read it well, and he saw where it was heading. And he was there on the spot to ensure the mistake was made.
Dragons at the 44-minute mark with Hardy. Well, boys, do you persevere with Hardy in the action? Mundine standing wide as this is Mark Coyne. Offloads. There's a chance now for the Dragons with Ziski. Plenty of cover comes across and Lawler makes the tackle.
He did quite well, Chris Lawler, after being found out. coming in, a good break made up the blind side, and again Lawler comes up with the timely tackle. He's not a winger, he's a former halfback, so didn't read defence very well there at all. St. George keeping the ball alive. They do have one extra player, and Bartrim drops the football, but the Parramatta Eels inside the 10.
He played the advantage well there, Paul McLean. A couple of those Parramatta players out wide were about 3 or 4 metres offside. So what do they do here, Peter? Another shot at goal?
I think they feel as though Parramatta are about to be opened up again. I'd be taking the tap.
That's what they've done with Troy Stone. Oh, he's bumped away from Campbell. Campbell did the little somersault out. Now, that was raked fairly there, but Ritson didn't come up with the ball. Contested in the ruck. Tackle count has restarted. Goldthorpe. He had Hardy on the outside and decided not to pass. Wrapped up by the defence. Mundine is on the left side of the field in the centres. Barnhill, he has been their best. And again, he's crashed through the first line. 5 metres out from the Parramatta line. They're down by 4 points. Brown from dummy half. They work a blindside play, and Thompson has copped it up cold.
Gee, that was a poor option from Nathan Brown. Blindside was nowhere near as good an option as coming to the left-hand side. Look at the amount of defence that is there in a short space. They had a good line set, good depth. Really very bad play there from the dummy half, I thought.
Freeman from the scrum away for Lawler.
Well, we've just had a reason sent up as to why Nathan Barnes did start the second half and Maybon came on after a minute or two. He was actually still being stitched in the dressing shed. He couldn't have that ready for the resumption of play. As soon as the job was done, straight back onto the field for the fullback.
Justin Morgan still in the sin bin as Campbell from dummy half. Can't offload. Barnhill was over the top. And below was Goulet. Parramatta. Inside pass there for Jason Smith. Last tackle with Freeman. And kicking deep, Gary Freeman. Can he get it over the head of Raper? He can't. Raper on his own 20. That was a good take from the fullback. And in turn taken by the defence of Jason Smith, who's having a very strong game for Parramatta today. Jason Smith, Mundine tries that stepping again around the outside of Woods. He's through Mundine, away from Woods a second time. Tries to position the man inside. He's done that. And Ziski will score for the Dragons. It was touched by a Parramatta hand. Oh, the Dragons are right back in it. It's all square at 12 all.
And that's what Anthony Mundine could do, and he made David Woods look very ordinary. Woods got caught out very poorly. They go wide. Referee's play there. You can see this man, David Woods, has come in, and Mundine has the speed to go around on the outside. Drew him in. Brush of a tackle. Woods is actually quite quick. I thought that he could have come up with a better diving attempt. And then a beautiful pass back inside to his centre partner.
Well, Pete, David Woods might be a fine attacking player, but I'll tell you what, he's got some problems in defence. This is the third time today he's missed tackles just by simple errors. You know, they had the numbers there. He just had to stay out there, outside of Dean Pate, and force Mundine to do something special. All he did was show him the gap. Mundine did the rest. And that's a fine St. George try.
And that is the biggest part of Mundine's play, isn't it, Paul, with the fact that he can drift in, and he's got great speed, acceleration to get around a player, and David Woods was caught out perfectly.
And Bartrim has put the Dragons back in front. Peter Johnston coming back out here. He'll actually replace the sin bin player Justin Morgan. The Dragons up by 2, though, after that Ziski try. So play underway, Lawler the restart. And Parramatta now with a job to do. This is Lance Thompson. He would have thought that handling error just a short time ago cost the Dragons, yet they've scored within 2 minutes of that. Raper. Tackled there by King and Campbell. The Dragons on their own 20. It's not a matter of whether you deserve to lead. It's just putting points on the board, and the Dragons have got 2 more than Parramatta right at the moment. Bill out of dummy half. Tackled by King. Brown shifted it to the left side. Mundine close to the action. Again, he's gone through, that time through McCracken. That was an awkward-looking attempted tackle from McCracken. Not just one turnstile, but 2 there. As Goldthorpe inside for Raper. Last tackle, a left foot kick from Raper. Not a deep one. And Parramatta with Lawler stepping into the arms of Thompson, who makes the tackle on the 40. The Dragons not back to 10 that time. Avon cops a hit over the top there from Hardy. Work the blind side. This is Jared McCracken. Wrapped up right on halfway. Goulet and Bartrim the tacklers. Ritson can't offload in that tackle. Stone and Brown affecting it. Johnston. Well, no nonsense set of 6 this. Just one off the ruck. And close to the ruck with a hit-ups. Blackett on the last. Kicks back across field. Now he's onside, and, well, it didn't matter about the chase because it was a good take from Zisti. Judge put the arm out to indicate that the players were all onside. The referee, McLean. The Dragons back with it. And it's Thompson. Oh, they come up at him. Blackett and Campbell. Goldthorpe. And they've come up with a drop ball. They'll get another try. Oh, Jason Smith has picked up a loose ball and scored. The Eels will get no easier try in 96 than that.
No, that is for sure. That is suicide from St. George. They had a kick charge down. That was soft and simple. A drop ball 20 metres out from their own line. Misunderstanding there. Pass not finding its mark, and Jason Smith on hand to score the try, and he's been Parramatta's best, so that is well deserved.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Once again, this St. George line, there's no depth. They're all flat. As flat as yesterday's lemonade. And no one back there in cover. And hence the easy stroll for Jason Smith. I like that one.
Well, Parramatta now back in front by 2 and should be 4 with the ensuing conversion attempt from Lawler. Jason Smith, one of 2 players in the Parramatta forward pack today, of course, who were on the World Cup tour at the end of last year. They lost both Dimmick and Raper before the match.
He's taken a while to fit into this Parramatta side, and that can happen when you go to a new club, but today's been his best game. And, I mean, there's no Jim Dimmick, and there's more pressure on him to perform, and obviously he appreciates that.
Well, I think Paul, he's just the kind of player, especially when he's in the back row. You just give a free rein. You just say, look, play what's in front of you, play how you want, and I'd have the other blokes forming around him than the other way.
And Lawler has this kick, as you can see, right in front. 11 out. And Parramatta now lead by 4 points here at Parramatta Stadium. The Eels 18, more problems for Saints coach David Waite 14. Back here at Parramatta Stadium. The home side, the scoreline the way they wanted. Ritson from the restart of play.
And a poor restart from St. George. The tackle made 25 metres out.
So the Eels, can they come up with 2 tries? A 4-pointer against the run of play. Johnston and Barnhill meet head on. Good collision, that one. Campbell gets himself to another 6 or 7 metres there for the Eels. They're just short of halfway now. Dean Pay locked up on that halfway. And his last tackle for Parramatta. The chasers have taken off early as Freeman gets the kick between Bell and Raper. Bell on the bounce, positions Raper. Raper has dropped it. Ooh. Young Dean Raper, heart went into the mouth. Not just for him, all the St. George supporters and their coach David Waite.
Poor old David Waite. Once again, you look at that now. Mark Bell had the football and he passed it to a man who had 4 players standing in front of him.
Well, who wants to win the match? Steve Roach on the sideline.
Yeah, well, the boys spoke about Moore and Larson's effort last night for North Sydney. What about Jason Smith and Dean Pay? They've been inspirational for Parramatta today. Haven't had a rest as yet.
The Dragons at the moment copping some heavy treatment from the Parramatta defence. They're still on the 10-metre line, and it's the last tackle. Brown with a kick away on the last. He'll only get as far as the 40. Back comes Rod Mavon. Excellent set of 6 from the Eels. And Mavon is tackled by Mundine. Troy Campbell for Marr. One of their 3 try scorers today for Parramatta. 25 out. Campbell goes to the blind side, inside ball for Ritson. He ran straight at Mundine. Able to hang on there with an assist from Stevens. With Peter Johnston. Barnhill ball and all. And Troy Stone and Brown, they eventually get into the ground. Now the touch judges come in. I don't know where the punch came from. Whether in fact it may even be against Peter Johnston. There's a bit of debate going on out there.
Well, Johnson did appear to kick out in the tackle as well. A swinging arm from Barnhill, so there was a few things happening in the tackle. Let's have a look at it from side on. Pretty solid hit from Barnhill. Johnson spins, hangs on to Barnhill. There was a swinging left, and then Johnson kicks out. It'll be interesting to see which way this one does go.
Oh, it's gone. It's almost an accident, this one. Barnhill was putting his hand up to cover the football. It's collected him in the face, but I can't see why the touch judge had come in on this one.
Well, Barnhill wouldn't have even been involved if Peter Johnson hadn't have grabbed hold of him by the jersey and kept him in the play.
And I guess you ask the question, what did the touch judge see that the referee didn't see? I mean, once the touch judge comes on, the referee has to take action.
Look, he put the arm up, Barnhill, but it wasn't swinging. It was just, you know, putting it up. They're putting it up, say.
The touchies playing their part in this match. Kick knock on in the first half ruled against Anthony Mundine. And the Eels, through Lawler, have another chance. This would be a 6-point lead if successful. Jason Smith gets that first rest for the day. Chance to be in the starting lineup for State of Origin 3, Fatty, or not?
Have to ask Les Jiggs, Henry.
Okay, yeah, sure. Lawler from 20 out. The right-hand side of the uprights, the left foot of Lawler is on target today for Parramatta. So it's a 6-point lead. 20 points to 14 at the 57-minute mark.
A quick restart attempt by St. George was slowed down by the referee. Matthew Spence has gone on for the Eels, jersey number 17, and he is a good player, and that's another poor restart. Scott Mahon taking the football. 23 out on the first tackle. You've got to be taking the football on your own try line and then being forced to tough it out.
And Wayne Bartrim can kick the ball 50 metres as far as his kicking is concerned.
There's some fundamentals to be addressed by St. George during the week. Win or lose out of this match. Parramatta with it just beyond the 40 with Dean Pay.
Well, it's been a good game. Not a great game like last night, but either team can win this, can't they? But you wouldn't say the Eels are home yet.
No, and psychologically, if they don't win this one, Paul, it would be a big blow because their opposition have been very poor. It's a kind of match where you would think that, you know, we're not going to see St. George play this badly in too many more matches throughout the season, so you've got to beat them on this kind of day.
St. George with Bell trying to get out of dummy half, a very shallow defensive line for Parramatta. They weren't back to 10. McLean played a sizable advantage on that set of 6. You've got to wonder if there can be any advantage to the side when they're trying to run the ball away from their own 20. Give them the penalty, and as you'll see now, St. George with the ball 20 metres further upfield. Down the restart for Stevens. And he's ended up on the end of a Troy Campbell shoulder, then came out with a bit less swing. Well, a silly play from Stevens. No penalty has resulted and no appearance of the touch judge, but Stevens with the ball in his hands, you just don't do that.
And a very unusual play from Jason Stevens. Normally a very disciplined player. He threw the big haymaker. Adam Ritson standing up for his smaller teammate.
Now with Barnhill. And the left arm over the top of the defender. Johnston completed that tackle. Goulet from dummy half, straight out of there. Back for Brown. Then away for Coyne. He spins away and wrapped up by the Parramatta defence. 5 tackles used up by the red and whites. They're down by 6 points. Goldthorpe with a kick. It's come off the side of the boot. It's a terrible kick from Noel Goldthorpe.
Good pressure there again, this time from Nathan Barnes. Coming in off the wing. Made a simple catch available for Rod Maybon, and now Adam Ritson. numbers forward. It's good desperation there in the chase.
No problems at all for Maybon. In the meantime, Parramatta with McCracken eyes upended there by Mundine. Mundine's going to be penalised, and it's on again. Hello, McCracken wants to go it with Mundine. Lefts and rights. They might come out equal on points, but I'm sure Parramatta will get the penalty here.
Well, just hopefully Jared McCracken for his side hasn't nullified that by looking to go on.
I'm just wondering if Blaine's thinking of sending off Mundine here.
Second time in the game, isn't it?
At least like this, they've settled down. The referee hasn't made a decision yet whether to send him off or not. He'll have a chat to him. And he's taken time to make his decision. If he's having word to McCracken, then that was silly from McCracken. He's saying sorry.
Well, Fatty, I think the first discretion is for lifting in the tackle. Mundine on McCracken.
Looks like it might be another report. Well, here's the tackle. He comes in. I don't think it's that bad. He doesn't drive him. He just lifted him. McCracken fell down of his own volition, but he didn't drive him head first into the turf. And then it was on.
Nathan Brown has come spilling out of the back of that as Johnston went the big hit up. There's a fair height and reach advantage for McCracken against Mundine as Pay slipped the pass for Maybon. There's still fire in this match. I don't think we've seen the last of the spite, if you like, as there's a good ball from Spence, who's on in 17, the former junior Kiwi, Matthew Spence, his first touch. A quality offload. Maybon up to the 20 and driven sideways. Good tackle as well. Came from Mark Corn. Shane Gomes up for the Eels as Freeman spreads it along for Pay. He's able to offload and then bounces off the chest of Spence. A turnover the way of Goldthorpe. So St. George out of trouble, and thankful for that. Parramatta still not flicking. We're up to round 10 of the Optus Cup, and Zisti that time ran into a hit from Johnston. Oh, Gourlay again, they've come up. That time Chris King laying the shoulder on Gourlay.
He's an underrated player, Chris King. He's a very tough competitor, as Troy Stone is poleaxed this time by Troy Campbell. Now plenty of feeling in this game. This time Barnhill has dropped the hip and to good effect.
Well, he's left two behind. St. George on the attack with Mundine. Then away for Laker and Marn. Ball and all makes the tackle.
That was an important tackle there by Marn.
It is the last. Bartrim tries to kick through. Toes it through again. Bartrim. He falls and comes back for Marn now, and there's a penalty impeding the progress of Bartrim.
The Parramatta are still going to play it down back over halfway. Nathan Brown takes a quick tap, and Stevens will just about score here.
Back for Brown. He dummies. Tries to burrow his way over, wrapped up by Spence. There's great concern in the Parramatta camp for the player injured.
There's big numbers for St. George on the right. A slow play of the ball has helped the Eels' cause.
Mundine. A floating pass was a bad one. Up out of the line came Barnes to make the tackle on Stone. They've lost 30 metres. Now he's penalised them for inside the 10.
And they were.
And there's 4 or 5 trainers on the field, and finally I've got to Paul McLean to tell him that this player back on the halfway line from Parramatta has not moved as yet. They've got to look after him.
Well, it was the charge of Barnhill that led to this. Is it Chris King?
It looks like Chris King, yes.
At Parramatta Stadium, we could be looking at a lengthy delay at the moment as they attend to Chris King. It was an attempted tackle on David Barnhill. Well, he's got a combination of a hip down below and the elbow over the top, straight towards the head of Chris King. Steve Roach on the sideline.
Well, I'm sure that there was a forearm come in contact with his jaw. I think you'll find that he clutches it straight away as he goes down too. You see him there. And that was the second one in a row that he copped. He tried to hit another St. George player, Gourlay, front on too, and hurt himself, and then he lined up for the next hit.
sometimes mentioning elbows in tackles, you might get the feeling that it was an illegality, but there was nothing wrong with the Barnhill charge.
No, I said it was forearm, mate. I didn't say elbow.
No, we did mention elbow, that was all.
But you've got to say the stoppage has come as a strange sort of blessing for Parramatta, because they were close to gone near their own line. Sure, you don't like to see a player stretch it from the field.
Yeah, Dr. Michael Johnston out there is a good man. He'll make sure things are okay for Chris King.
That was the player penalised there, Scott Mahon, for grabbing hold of Wayne Bartrim.
And then what followed was another penalty for inside the 10 when Mundine really looked to spread the ball wide. He threw a pass to no one, and they did lose 20 metres on the play. Coming from the mouth of King as well there. At least he's got the Medicab out there.
Off the side in any rugby league game, stretcher being called for. Players do not like to leave that way. And this has given Parramatta time to set in defence, and also given St. George time to get their attack ready. Scott Goulet, as he normally does, scouting very, very wide. He's out in the centres. They look like they'll hit Barnhill and Jason Stevens on the fringe of the ruck. And he's one man that they will be hoping can come up with a big play this end of the field. Really a handful out wide.
Well, at 2014, it's Chris King who's being taken from the field, courtesy of the Medicab. The penalty is another 30 metres downfield to the Dragons, and surprisingly they're going to go for the shot at goal. Chris Quinn in the best of hands right now. Chris King, rather. Here's the 20-14, 16 remaining. They've passed up a couple of chances in the match to go for goal. Indeed, they did a matter of 60 seconds before this one on the right-hand side of the field. So this kick for Wayne Bartrim. 15 out, and it's back to 4 points the difference. 20-16, the Eels over St. George. The news from downstairs on Chris King is a fractured jaw. I think we've got to clear David Barnhill of any wrongdoing in charging the ball up.
That's just a good hard hit up. These things happen in rugby league. We don't like to see them happen.
Back with Lawler, so they're not home yet. Only 4 points.
And that's the difference in restarts. Barnhill takes the ball on his own goal line, gets to 12 metres out. Most a 15-20 metre difference in the restarts in this match.
Over tackled by McCracken and Blackett. Brown away. There's almost a mix-up. Oh, big hit from Johnston. You won't see better than that from Peter Johnston. On Wayne Bartrim, the tackle. Now Troy Stone up to the 20. Well, Bartrim's always had a look up at the last moment and said, uh-oh, I'm in big trouble. There's a few players in this Parramatta line you wouldn't be running at. One of them is Johnston, the other one is Dean Pay. That's a better kick from the Dragons. And they're there, 5 of them on the chase as Mabon, wrapped up by Zisti. With a 30 out from their own line. Barnes goes across field and Zisti makes a double.
This is where St. George must lift here in defence. They've got to try and keep Parramatta in their own half. A good set of 6 here in defence can lift them for the rest of the game, the remaining 13 minutes of the match. That's a good hit from Jason Stevens on the little boat whiz.
In the scheme of the match, that's probably only 7 out of 10 as Pay offloads forward to Ritson and called back. Question that one, plenty of boos. And Ritson, the support player, was off on a real gallop.
And he's got surprising speed too, Adam Ritson. to get some momentum up. No doubt that pass went forward. Didn't get along the big man. Stone's copped a couple of knocks just in the last few tackles. He's being escorted from the field. Again, been a good performance from the front rower. Some key offloads in this match. St. George win the scrum. Centre field, Hardy to the right-hand side.
Coin, skipper, makes 8 metres on that play. Dragons 12 remaining. And this time Ward. Held up in the tackle over the top with Smith. Brown. Goldthorpe. For Barnhill. Barnhill tries a right arm 10. If the Dragons win, this bloke's just about man of the match, David Barnhill.
Yeah, it's a great run, wasn't it? Carried 3 defenders, another 3 or 4 metres. Mundine short side. Nathan Brown likes to attack there. The kick is a pretty good one, but Maybon makes good ground and cleans up a very difficult ball very well.
And stayed in the field of play too. That was definitely on for the Dragons. Here's the little kick from Brown. Bartrim and Bell, the chasers.
Well, we've just seen some great defence from St. George, pushing Peter Johnson back into the in-goal area.
Well, this could be a match winner, this tackle. Big defence. They have lifted. Johnson bring the ball up, gets to about 4 metres out, and Colin Ward comes in and they drive hard. Ward, Stevens and Goulet.
Well, this match right in the balance. 11 and a half remaining, and Parramatta having to defend right now. That line dropout, not their biggest. It comes for Raper. Now for Ziski. They can launch this set of 6 from the 30-metre line. Parramatta's end of the field with Barnhill. Every time he's had his hand up, the head rocked back as Johnson made the tackle. An offload again. Stevens back for Goldthorpe. It's been knocked down. Barnhill, can he clean up? He can't. It'll still be play on for the Dragons, and that will be the first of 6. So St. George on the 40. And a rated ball back. Well, there's a penalty against Smith. There's been some messy play the balls.
Well, they've got a kick for touch here. Now Goldthorpe should find it around the 20-metre mark. In fact, it'll be the 30-metre mark. It's a pretty poor kick, but this is the set of 6 that St. George can win the match.
Waters tackle, bringing it back to centre field. Nathan Brown has been replaced. An interesting one for St. George. Goldthorpe inside for Stevens. Stevens taken there by Campbell. 20 metres out in front of the Parramatta posts. They don't get the quick play the ball. Hardy has assumed the role of dummy half. Goldthorpe for Coyne. He bounced away, but they cover up in the shape of Jason Smith. The Dragons still on the attack, though. Colin Ward offloads over the top for Raper. And the Kraken came in and made the tackle. There's plenty of Dragons with their hands up on the left. They want a kick for the corner. Hardy skips it out. For Mundine, a missed tackle by Blackett. Now back for Hardy. Still 25 metres out. Goldthorpe. He dummied the Goulet through a real pressure pass in their confidence. There was enormous pressure on Ward.
Yeah, and it was put on by Jason Smith, who's having a whale of a game. We gave Billy Moore the award last night because of his performance a couple of days after State of Origin. Jason Smith has been just as good.
Parramatta, Peter Johnston's dropped it. And St. George, can they clean up the knock on both ways? First against Parramatta, Johnston was hit fair and square in the tackle.
Well, the players are starting to get tired. The big hits are still coming. And the ball security is not what it was 50 or 60 minutes ago. Good strong tackle there from Stevens. A blocker special, that one. Remember those days, Block?
A long time ago, fat man.
So St. George, another chance from outside the 20. They go the blind side with Coyne and tackle. Nathan Barnes moving into the centres is now Ziski. And the legs again was Barnes. Hardy and Ward. He's got his instructions and he offloads again. Goldthorpe. Chance for the Dragons. Into the hands of Goulet. He's 5 metres out. Scott Goulet tackled. Last line of defence was Adam Ritson for Parramatta. Now the ball has come loose. Well, there's been sin bins earlier, and here comes another one.
And it's Gary Freeman who's gone. Oh, his troubles with referees continue. Quick tap taken by Bartrim. They do have numbers.
Well, they should score in this set of sixes. Goldthorpe is tackled. Freeman is taking an eternity to get from the field. Mundine now runs up to the line and tackled by Ritson. So Freeman in the bin for the second time in the match. The Dragons go from dummy half with Coyne. Ritson holds him up. Pay is there also. And held up in goal there.
It's going to be a scrum now, and Parramatta really needed to keep him out of the in-goal area. They'd already completed 3 tackles. Now it'll be a restart. And they are without that player there in the defensive line. Big charge from Goulet.
And he showed the way, Scott Goulet. All St. George has got to do to win this game is run hard and straight and keep doing it. Forget the fancy moves, the cutouts, the plays. Just get over that try line.
7.5 remaining, 10 metres out. We've said that the last 3 or 4 minutes as Mundine is tackled that time by Mabon. Again, the Dragons want it left side, or at least Mark Bell does on the left wing. Here's Brunker. Probably the player you'd think would be the match winner at this stage, but he's been thrown into the action. Here's Stevens, throws the short pass and cut down. Good tackle from Nathan Barnes again. Still 5 out. They skip out Ward on the pass. Mundine at first receiver, stepping away from 2 and held up by the Parramatta defence. Jason Smith again was in there to lock up the ball. Hardy at dummy half. Swings it back close, straight and hard. Barnhill has tripped over his own man.
Could look like a Shepherd. Last tackle now. 1 to go for the St. George side. Goldthorpe, the kick in.
Oh, great kick from Goldthorpe, but they scored no, says Nick Blaine. Forced by Parramatta. Oh, the shrewdest of kicks from Noel Goldthorpe off the side of the boot.
Rock and Rod Mabon, he's the hero there. Nice little kick. That's a Brad Fittler special, that type of kick. Mabon, he saw it coming, changed direction, and grounds it before Mark Coyne could.
Well, Chris Lawler really needs to pick up some distance with this kick. He's got to get to the halfway line, and the chase has got to be a good one.
Well, if they do win Parramatta, the players, I think, should probably give 10% of the winning bonus to Mabon. That was possibly a match-winning play. The Dragons, another chance. 30 metres out from the Parramatta line. Freeman off in the bin as Johnston comes up, tries to get some of his own back. He's been tackled in goal and then dropped the ball inside his own half. A couple of errors to make up for. Goldthorpe throws the pass. Bartrim driven back from the defence of McCracken. Every time the big tackle, the cheer comes up as Bartrim. He dummied. Well, was that a Shepherd? Play on, says McBlain. Goldthorpe ran into Ritson, and Ritson effected a tackle. It's now with Goulet from dummy half, straight and hard. Again runs into Mabon.
Yeah, 20% now for Mabon.
5th tackle. Bartrim at dummy half. He goes himself. The pass is loose. Has been touched by a Parramatta hand. Marn back with it. Marn is away.
Oh, he's
over the 30, now over the 40. He runs into Raper.
He knocked on 40 metres back.
And now Mabon. It's play on for the Eels with Barnes. He throws for Lawler. Lawler tries a goose step and is tackled. Yes, I'm sure that Marn knocked it down.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt at all.
Well, you know, McBlain was kicking. He looked at the touch judge as Johnson makes a good run for about 25 seconds, waiting for some sign, but nothing came. McBlain should have gone with his own instinct. He knew something had happened.
Ritson throws the ball. It's come back the way of Johnston, who
6 again.
falls on it. It was knocked down by St. George. Well, the finish, that is one thing this match has had. Close scores all the way through as Woods is taken over the top by Goldthorpe, crept up a little high. Barnhill down below. Parramatta. It's been a while since they've been at this end of the field, and now they've got a chance to wrap it up. They're inside the 20 with Spence. Back now for Campbell. And Campbell taken from behind by Brunker. 10 metres out from the line.
But they can't score in this set of 6. The in-goal area is the place to go for the kick as Johnson taken low. Great tackle.
4 to go. The pass had come from Jason Smith. Mabon, it was a sloppy play, the ball. Then the grubber kick. St. George cover up with Hardy. Oh, he almost lost it, and Jason Smith is the man chasing through.
Clever play again from Rod Mabon. He sized up some tough situations in this game very well. Let's go back to the other end of the field, and how important will that be in the final wash-up here if Scott Martin did get a touch on the football.
Well, here it is again. He was touched there, there's no doubt about it, by Martin. That's what forced the ball to go back 10 metres. And now St. George have the ball. A bit of an anti-climax, but not so with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. And just over the 20. Goldthorpe.
Game's not over.
That's a confident Peter Sterling.
Oh, it's a great finish.
Great finish. This has turned into a great game.
Ward away from Mundine. Well, it's been the closeness of the scores. 6 points has been the biggest margin as Mundine has wrestled his way through. He's lost it. Mabel. Well, can you give a bloke a man of the match for the last 5 minutes? His effort.
Oh, no. What about some of the mistakes in this match? They're just beyond comprehension. Woeful defence. Absolutely woeful defence. And then, looking to exchange the football from the right hand to the left, came out.
It's almost as if both teams have backed each other. It was incredible.
I know that Jason Swift's had a great game for Parramatta, but Peter Johnson, let me tell you, not far behind him. Some mighty big tackles. He's run a lot of spirit and determination all day. And there's a good tackle from Jason Stevens.
The thing about Peter Johnson too, Paul, is that he takes the hard yards so often. He invariably, along with Dean Fay, will hit the ball forward. Have a look, he's 18 hit-ups for him, 16 for Ritson, that's great, 15 from Pay. Plenty of work from those 3 players.
The 5th tackle here, cramp for Dean Pay. Player has to continue to the side of the ruck. He's ruled time off for the moment. The last tackle, though, so someone has to get in position with Freeman off the field. Jason Smith is the man calling for it. Let's see where he plants this kick. He kicks low for the sideline and finds touch. So that will soak up more time. Jason Smith in control of this match if no one else is.
David Waite looks on. Must be disappointed today in his charges. They haven't played well. They've had opportunities, they've had chances. But the style of game they played today has not got them home. And Parramatta have hung on. Congratulations go to them. There's one last play of the game, isn't there, from the scrum?
Well, will there be something fancy? The 10-second countdown is on. Belcomb's going to pass away. Well, that's almost apt to finish that way, and the Eels have won 3 straight.